Hey, for Double RT Boxing. Talking post fight recap. Danny Jacobs defeating Luis Arias. Me, myself, disappointing performance. Dominating performance. Round 1 to 12, dominated all by Danny Jacobs. Now, the reason why I say disappointing was because you can clearly see the levels between the two fighters. And what made it even worse was at the end of round 6, because round 1 to 4 was Danny Jacobs walking him down, tapping him with some jabs, uppercut here, a body hook there. Luis trying to use the ring the best he can to avoid any type of onslaught that could come from Daniel Jacobs at any given time he wanted to. It was just a clear cut dis levels. So at the end of rounds, because the whole fight, Luis was hitting Daniel Jacobs either on the hips or low. And Daniel Jacobs was like looking at the ref like, come on, man. He was hitting Daniel Jacobs behind the head a couple times, and Daniel Jacobs, too nice of a guy. Even the trainer said like, hey, you're showing him too much respect. You're being too nice to him. I need you to step it up. So he kept hitting Daniel Jacobs behind the head on the hips, and Daniel Jacobs kept looking at the ref like, yo, what are you gonna do? So at the end of round 6, he hit Daniel Jacobs on like I think another hip shot, and Daniel Jacobs just went off on him like a good 7-piece combination. And it all didn't land, but the speed and the velocity that these punches came was the best all fight. And that's so they're going back to the corner, and Rocheers are like, what you just did to him right now scared the living hell out of him. Which it did, though, because after that, Luis definitely was on a different game plan. If he was throwing less up until that moment, he was definitely on the back foot trying to figure something out. But even after that 7, 8, now it was just Daniel Jacobs walking him down, looking very good in physique wise, but he just didn't let his hands go in any type of threatening combos. It was always a jab here, uppercut there. Like, and then in the 11th round, he did wobble. I think the 10th or 11th, he did wobble Lewis, but in the 11th round, he had Lewis just like walking around, and then he's like, "Don't run, don't run." So that was pretty fun to hear, to read his mouth say that, "Don't run, don't run." But overall, like I said, I don't I know Daniel Jacobs wants the winner of Lemieux and Saunders. And coming off the Triple G loss with this performance, I don't know if he deserves that title shot. I really don't know. I would say that winner should fight Triple G next, considering that the talks are that Canelo's not going to fight Triple G in May. So I think I would like to see Lemieux or Saunders winner fight Triple G around May or July or June, somewhere in there. Um, where could Danny Jacobs go after this? He could fight the loser, depending on how good of a contest he put forth himself. He could fight the loser. Uh, is there a Charlo match somewhere out there? Those been a little internet beef. Uh, HBO did sign Andrade, so that's a possibility. With that performance last night, since both those guys didn't really showcase their HBO's um, new deal, they didn't showcase a performance. That could be an easily show me something fight between those two. But will HBO want to put their two new middleweights against each other and have one of them get a loss already and lose some hype on them? I don't know. But I don't see what other fight there could be out there for Jacobs besides that's gonna be a step down. You know, he's gonna have to take another one of these Luis Arias type fights. You know, he's gonna have to go the Sullivan Barrera type route. You know, like Sullivan Barrera be getting some fights. Like, why is he getting those? Not his title shots. But in this case, I don't know if Daniel Jacob. It's either get a Triple G rematch, or he's gonna have to get another Luis Arias match. Because me personally, he don't deserve a title shot at the WBO. Not with this victory. Not coming off a loss, and that victory. Even though it's a victory, it could have been better, especially considering you showed the efforts. You know, you showed in the sixth round throwing those hellacious combinations. You showed. I think he even knocked him down in the late rounds. I believe it was. I don't know if it was a slip or he did knock him down. I don't know. So to show that you could have turned it on and got this guy out of there and didn't, you can't get a title shot to me like that. But it's, I don't know, but I see next for Daniel Jacobs is either going to be the triple. It should be the Triple G match, considering if Canelo don't want it in May, or another low level competitor in the Luis Arias matchup, or maybe go after Andy Lee, or maybe bring back the Peter Quillen match. You know, if they could somehow talk Danny into giving a rematch. But I like the Andy Lee. I like that Andy Lee one. Daniel Jacobs and Andy Lee. I can see that being next. You know, it needs. He needs another name because Luis Arias was a low name, and his performance was a low performance. Dominating, very basic technique, dominating, but nothing, no punch at any given round. Me and you could talk about. I can't talk about any specific. What I'm talking to you is about him getting mad about getting hit on the hips and behind the head, and him throwing a flurry. You know, I'm talking to you about him saying, "Don't run." There was no offensive thing to pinpoint. Like, hey, remember that? No. So this is Mr. A saying Daniel Jacobs, a basic technique, dominating, low expectation performance of Luis Arias. Let's see what's next for him. Signing out.